All glory to God, right? None of this would have been possible for me to make it even this far in the journey. Yes, I haven't been able to achieve anything extremely significant in trading so far or in my life, but I have made remarkable changes in my life, and my life will continue to change if I put my faith in Him, right? And today, He's been risen from the dead, and, I just want to say, man, all glory is to Him. No matter what happens in my life, it is all because of Him, right? So, today, I want to talk a little bit about a conversation I had with my parents last night. Um, and I was talking pretty much about a gap year, right? And I've been thinking about it for a while, and obviously, it would be more aligned with my goals, right, and my dreams that I have in my life. Instead of continuously wasting time and spending time, wasting my parents' money, and then when I fail classes, waste my own money. Um, you know, it just doesn't seem very smart, right? And I just don't want to be there. But the main reason why my parents want to go to school, which I am 100% thankful for, that they're providing, but it's so that I can have a safe, secure job, right? I can always have that backup, right? And that's something that just they just don't understand, right? And it's hard for me to get mad at someone, that's from that generation. I think it's called what is it, Gen X. So like they're born in a different generation to think that you need college. You need college to live a secure life, right? To have that backup plan, it's always good. I understand that, but like at this point, so many jobs are already getting replaced, and I'm not trying to just live that unfulfilled life, right? And they understand that I want to go all in on trading, right? And they understand that. They don't really believe that it will happen, but that they wish me the best. Um, I had a serious talk with them. I had a few points I wanted to make, and it ended up being like a 2 hour long talk, right? That doesn't really matter, but it got pretty deep, bro. And that's just something that is just going to be a part of my journey, bro. Like this is just something I'm going to remember, right? That this is the day that or yesterday was the day that I decided to go out of my comfort zone and do something that's very hard that I know my parents are most likely going to say no to. That I was going to get not bashed down for, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like they just don't, their views don't align with me and what I believe in. And I just want to bring up, their main point was that we're providing it, so why not take the chance, right? Why not take the advantage that you have and have that safe, secure backup just in case trading doesn't work. And they kept on saying that over and over again, right? And I kept on talking about number one, my trust in God is above all, right? I know that eventually, things will work out. If I'm proving to God every single day that I'm working towards this goal and that I'm working towards a better self, He will begin to show me the fruits of my labor. I know that, right? And God just did not give me training just for me to go to work and work for the rest of my life, right? He has given it to me for a reason, and I've been consistent with it for over a year and a half, or coming up on a year and a half for a reason, right? And no matter what happens in my life, no matter if they kick me out, which they were talking about doing if I ended up taking a gap year and not going back to school, you know, my trust in God is above all. I know that God will have my back. Or the people that end up in the worst positions in their life are typically the people that would be the most successful, right? Pressure creates a diamond. It's very cliche, but it's true, bro. It's true. And, it's a little bit different of a situation when you're actually in that, right? When I actually get kicked out or when I'm actually on the streets, bro. But I know I can figure something out. God can lead me to the answer, and I'll be able to figure something out to where I can work at McDonald's, bro. Straight up, like I can work at McDonald's and be able to afford one funded account a month. If that's really how it gets, bro, that's how it gets. I obviously don't want to get to that point, and it probably will never get to that point. But I'll move in with someone, my grandma, bro, my grandma would love me for me, like, live with her, bro. Like, any of this different type of stuff, bro. Like, there is always an option. And they're bringing up the worst case scenarios for my trading, so I'm gonna bring up the worst case scenarios for that. It's like they're like, Bryson, what would you do? I'm like, straight up work at McDonald's and find someone. I have a few friends, and they're all willing to let me live with them. A year or two from now when they move out, things like that, right? I can literally live with family. I have family nearby, and they would not mind if I'm actually pursuing what I love. If I'm not just living in their house, if I pay rent, doesn't matter. There's always a way. There's always a way. So I trust my God. I trust God, and that is above all, right? And the second point I was making was that within a year and a half, I already met the 4% statistic of traders. You can look it up right now. 4% of traders can pass a funded account. 4% of traders can pass a funded prop firm account. And I have done it 3 times. 3 times, and I've only been trading for a year and a half. And my dad was saying, well, profitable traders, that's only a 2% statistic price, and you got to think about it in this way. He kept on bringing this up, bro. The NBA, right? Like it's like less than 1% of NBA players come from college, right? Most that's not how you say it, but college players, it's like a 1% chance for them to make it to the NBA. 1% of college players make it to the NBA. And I'm like, I'm on that equivalent of trading. I have made that 4% statistic already. A year and a half in. A year and a half in, I've already made that 4% statistic. Who said I can't make it to that 2? That consistently profitable trader. I can. And that was one of his main arguments, bro, is that, Bryson, what if? What if trading doesn't work out and you have no backup plan? And that's where delusion comes in. And I kept on telling him, I was like, dude, you do not understand how delusional I truly am. You have no clue how delusional I am. You have no clue what I've been through, right, in this past year and a half, because I've kept it all a secret, right? I have shown y'all things on this YouTube, but I haven't told y'all everything, bro. And that'll be a story for later. A lot of these different things, but they don't see any of it. They don't see any of it. And I've gotten to that point now where, about 6 months into my journey, I knew this is it. I knew this was my escape from the average 9 to 5 that I never wanted to work in my life. I never had that dream job, bro. I never knew what to do, but I knew I never wanted to clock in for the rest of my life, bro. And this is the way, bro. And ever since, 6 months in, I knew this is it. And it was something that I was actually passionate about, something that God has given me, something I can change my life and many other people's lives with, right? And ever since then, I've become so delusional to think that this will work. So delusional. I have completely blocked out what everyone else says. And I'm not saying this to bash on my dad in any means. I'm not saying this because he just didn't understand, and he probably still won't understand until I start making money from this, which I eventually will, right? He will not understand this. But, when I first started trading, it was about 3 months in, and I was putting a decent amount of time in, but not like going all in like I was, a few months ago. Not a few months ago, but like towards the end of last year, where I was putting in 10-hour days and stuff all the time. And, I was talking to him about not going to college, right? Because this is right before I left college, and this is like last summer, pretty much. No, this is about 6 months in. This is about like 6 or 7 months in. Yeah, ish. It was like halfway through summer, like the beginning of summer, and the conversation was like, I don't want to go to college. I really don't want to go to college. I would rather work at McDonald's and do that and stay home and trade. And he was like, Bryson, if you really want to do that, do it. And then he started bringing up a bunch of points, and it kind of made sense. I was like, I just might as well go to college. And that was, I don't know how things would have went, but I wish I just stayed home and worked a job, part-time while trading. That would have been a lot better for my mental, a lot less stressful. But, who knows? Everything happens for a reason. And, he was like, Bryson, if you continue this trading stuff, where do you see yourself when you are 50, 60 years old? And at that time, I didn't see the true capabilities of trading. I didn't see how much money you can actually make. I was just saying some like face value stuff, like some very, very like intermediate stuff. I said 100K a year. 100K a year. That's only 10K a month. I'll be hitting 10K months, bro. I'm planning on hitting my first 10K month this year. It's probably it may happen towards the end of the year, but I'm planning on doing that. And if it doesn't happen, it's all good, bro. Big goals, it's all good. It's realistic. It's possible, right? Yes, it is a little delusional, but it's possible, right? But that is my goal toward the end of the year to hit one 10K month, right? And all I need to do right now is just get over this hump. And that's why I've invested in another mentor. It was my mentor's student, and I spent $1,000 just yesterday to be in his one-on-one mentorship, which is what I've been missing. I know the model. I know everything, right, about that I believe that I know about the model. It's very simple, okay? But a lot of it is intuition, right, with the model, and it's just experience and something with that. It's not a completely mechanical model. Yes, the model is mechanical, but the draw on liquidity, right, and the actual conditions you're trading in, and the way that the setup is setting up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all intuition, right? It's not a completely mechanical model like that people think. Okay, I'm not taking every single one. The way that he trades, he takes like 2 to 3 trades a week. He's very, very slow with it, and he makes sure he takes the best ones. And I took the risk again, and I'm running out of money, bro. I'm running out of my stash that I've saved up. And I spent another $1,000 on this mentor, and I'm praying to God that this is it, that he will truly give me that one-on-one guidance that I was missing with that first mentor. And that goal, 10K a month, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing, nothing, nothing. But I know I can hit it, right? If not this year, then the next, 100%. Okay, it's just a matter of time. But I straight up said, Dad, I see myself making 100K a year. Again, I had no clue how much money you can make with this. And I'm talking about 60 years old, bro. By the time I'm 60 years old, I'm making multi-million dollars a month. Okay? I'm not gonna be just trading. I'm gonna do so much other stuff, bro. I'm gonna be changing people's lives, bro. Right? I'm gonna have products, I'm gonna have all this different stuff. I have no clue. I have no clue what's my future. I don't look at it too much. That's for God to decide. Okay? But I said 100K a month, and he laughed at my face. He laughed at my face because I said I'm gonna make 100K a month, or not 100K a month, 100K a year from trading, 100K a year from day trading. By the time I'm 60 years old, I'm making 100K a month in the next 2 years. Not 100K a month, 100K a year. My bad. I'm making 10K a month consistently within the next few years. Might be this year, might be next year, might be the next. Who knows? Okay. But he laughed at me, bro. And it's because I'm so delusional. And, no matter how close you may be with your friends, your family, just know that if you're on this path, there's not going to be a lot of people that understand you, bro. And you gotta get used to that. I've been picked on. I've been laughed at, bro. So many times. Online, in person. For doing what I'm doing. For chasing my dreams. Okay? And it's seen as delusional. That it's never going to happen. Okay? But it will. And you know why I say that? You know why every single time my dad said, well, what if, Bryson? What if it doesn't work out? I said, what if it does work out? What if it does work out? It will. Every single time I laughed and I smiled, I said, it will. It's not if. It's a matter of when, bro. It will happen. It will happen. God has a plan. And this is not a fluke. I'm going to continue showing up every single day, no matter how long this takes. I'm that delusional that I can work a year and a half without profitability. And that's what he said towards the end. He was like, Bryson, you've already worked towards this a year and a half and you've had no results. What if you do this for another year and no results? I'm like, I don't care. You know what I did after this year? After one whole year trading, I was like, okay, going into this year, haven't made any money yet. Haven't made one single dime after putting in thousands of hours into work. I made a single dime. What can I learn? Okay, what's something I can actually fix? What can something I can work towards right now? Okay, my model, it's seriously lacking. Get some mentors. And I keep on moving on, and I keep on moving on, and I keep on moving on. No matter how low I go, I keep on moving on. I keep on pushing. I keep on waking up the next morning and going after it. And there's things you learn along the way. And that is what gets you 1% closer to your goals. Step by step by step. You know why it's such a low percentage of people becoming a profitable trader? It's because people cannot work towards something so aggressively, so relentlessly, so passionately for so long without getting any results. I'm clocking in like it's a 9 to 5 every single day. I was seriously doing that, doing 10 hours a day, 8 hours, on average, 8 hours a day, every single day last year. Okay, but now I've slowed it down. And this is, again, something that you've learned along the way. You get to a point where you don't need to spend hours and hours and hours on the charts every single day. At that point, it will overstress you and it will cook you. It will cook you. I've learned that the hard way twice. There's things that you learn along the way, right? And, people, they just will never understand you. People will, if you are on the same level as me and you have the same thought process, that I don't care how long this takes. I will go get a job in a year or two if I need to. And I will clock in every single day. And I will go home. And I will trade. And I will work towards my goals every single day. I will figure out a way. This is the life that I want. This is the life that I see in my dreams that God has given me. And I will not quit on it just because of stupid statistic, bro. Really. People look at that statistic like, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. It comes down to consistency. People cannot be consistent. Look at the average person that you are around with. Go out in public, bro. Look at the average person. Do you think they're going to continue to show up and lose money every single day for over a year? No. If you made it over a year, 2 years, if you made it over a year or 2 years, bro, and you're still working at it, you're going to make it. It's just a matter of time. It's really just a matter of time, bro. Because you got to realize the majority of people that quit trading, they quit within 3 months, 6 months. They're done. The majority, 80% probably. Because they can't handle it. They can't handle it. But we can. Me and you can. And that's why being so delusional will help you reach your goals. And no matter how many times I told him last night, I will, combating when he was saying, what if, what if, what if? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It still didn't get to him. He still doesn't understand. He's like, Bryson, I wish you the best. I'm praying for you. I hope this all works out. And that's the thing. He's living off of hope. Hope. I hope this all works out. I don't hope. I know. I know. Because I've put in so much work towards this. I trust in God so much. I trust in myself so much. I'm so delusional and brainwashed by myself to know that this is going to work. And it will. It will. It's just a matter of time. But, at the end of the day, like they said, pretty much, if I want to go on a gap year, I got to pay for my insurance. I got to pay for my car bill. I got to pay for my phone bill. And that'll end up being around, I think he said $4,000 every single year. And y'all know right now I'm really running low on funds because I've been dumping money into crypto. And I've ran my funds that I've saved up my entire life from around 8-9K to probably now around 2 to 3,000. So, and the whole point of this is for me to de-stress and stop stressing about work so much. And, I expected him to say, you got to get a job, but I just did it because why not? It didn't hurt anything. So most likely I will not take a gap year. I can't afford it. And again, the whole purpose of this is to completely get rid of all the stress in my life besides trading. Trading is already stressful enough. I can't focus on tests and other things like that. But it's okay. I'm still online. It'll be a lot easier than in person. Yes, I'll have like 5 classes a semester, but you know, he said I need to pay for insurance, but because I'm dropping out, right? I'm considered dropping out. But you look it up online, and it says that dropping out if you're under 26 or being out of college, you can still be under your parents, whatever it's called, life insurance. It's like it's already included in there. Okay. Um, so that's gonna take a big chunk out of it. If that is true, I'm gonna talk to him about it. That is true. So that'll only be 2,000, like around $2,000. My car bill, my car gas. I already get all the gas and everything. My car insurance, my my gas, all the things I need to maintain the car. I already do that as well. I already pay for that, and my phone bill, which is cheap. If it gets to that point, I may take a gap year, bro. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm gonna have to talk to him soon about that, if that's true or not about the life insurance. But that'll be $2,000. I may be able to afford that barely. And then over the summer, no matter what, over the summer, I'm hustling, bro. I'm gonna find some time every single week to go and resell lawnmowers. I did this last year. I made about $1,000, but I didn't even go all in. I had an old friend that stacked up a decent amount of money through doing it because he actually tried hard, but he had like 10 lawnmowers in his yard at a time. And they sell pretty quick during spring and summer, so I may lock in. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna resell those so I can maybe run up $1,000, $2,000 like that. Again, it's really not much work. You just gotta clean them off and then resell them for a higher price. But do that. But the thing that I'm most likely gonna do, I'm gonna try to get him to allow me to just do it slow, right? 2 to 3 classes a semester instead of doing five. Instead of doing five, maybe bump it down to two. I'll instead of graduating a year from now, I'll graduate 2 years from now. And if he's okay with doing that, I will 100% do that. But again, bro, they don't believe me that much, and they support me. Yes, I'm glad to have supportive parents, but they don't believe that this is gonna happen. And many people don't. I still get comments to this day, and I still get those remarks. Even in person. It does not matter, bro. I know this is all gonna work out, and I'm consistent enough, and I'm smart and intelligent enough to know that I can do this. God can do this. We just gotta continue showing up, man. That's it. That's it. Things will unfold within time. So I hope y'all. I don't even know. Is this video enjoyable, bro? I don't know. I'm straight up in my closet right now making this video. Um, Hope y'all got some inspiration from today's video. Hopefully y'all just get a little bit of an update on what's going on. Um, and I appreciate y'all for being here on this journey, man. If y'all have watched this all the way through, bro, you're a G, man. Like, I just can't believe the community that I've built so far, that God has built for me, of just absolute dogs, man. Just absolute dogs. And it's just going to continue growing and continue to improve. So if y'all want to join the Discord and be a part of that community, I would greatly appreciate it. Be there. We teach there all the time. We got multiple, um, what is it called, analysts. We got like 5, 6 analysts. A few of them do lessons. I'm trying to figure my own stuff out right now, but we have some profitable guys doing lessons in there. And man, we're just giving free value. I have a free WAP course as well that'll be left in the description as well. Completely just ICT beginner stuff. Everything you need to know to start trading ICT. I break it down pretty much from the things that you don't need to know about ICT and the things that you do need to know about ICT. But other than that, man, I appreciate y'all boys for being here. And yeah, see you on the boys in the next one. Peace out.